Sagittarius. So in 2024, you're gonna find that your daily life is going to change significantly. Your ruling planet Jupiter is making a move from Taurus to Gemini, and this is not only going to affect your daily life, but also your partnerships, among other things. So if you want to know more about what 2024 has in store for you, stick around. You definitely don't want to miss this. Hello, my loves. As always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. If you are new around here, welcome. My name is Mel. I'm a professional astrologer and I'm the founder of divinefeminineworks, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. And as always, if you are returning, welcome back. So welcome to my 2024 Astro Forecast series. So I wanted to preface this video by letting you know that all of these videos, all 12 of these videos, are done by a rising sign, because that's what's going to give you the most accurate astrological information. Now, if you have no idea what your rising sign is, first thing you're going to want to do is check out this video right here that explains everything about your big three, including your rising sign. And then the second thing you'll want to do is go to a site like astro.com or astro-seek.com. All you'll need to do is put in your birth time, location, and date. And when it comes to the time, you're going to want to be as precise as you possibly can, because that will give you the most accurate information. You're going to put in those three things. You will get a natal chart generated for you, and your rising sign will be labeled as the ascendant, either the AS or ASC. That way, you'll be able to check out the video that is just right for you. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. All right, Sag. So if you watched my 2024 General Astro Forecast, and if you haven't, the link will be in the description box below so you can check it out. I talked about 4 themes that are going to be transpiring for all of us this year. And those 4 themes are expansion, evolution, relation, and conservation. So first up, let's talk about expansion and what that looks like for you. Now, this is particularly important for you because expansion has everything to do with Jupiter, and Jupiter is actually your chart ruler, your ruling planet of your first house. So this year, Jupiter is moving from Taurus to Gemini and will also have a very important conjunction with Uranus while in Taurus. So for you, Sagittarius, this is going down between your 6th and 7th houses. So while Jupiter is still in Taurus, it's going to be blessing you with abundance when it comes to work and health. So you may find that while Jupiter has been in Taurus since last year, health situations have improved. Maybe you've gotten a new job, opportunities to make more money at work, or maybe you've just had different services that you've been able to provide to make more money. Either way, you've been experiencing abundance and expansion when it comes to your work and health. Now, when Jupiter conjuncts Uranus in your 6th house in April, you may have a surprising event, a surprising happening that bestows positive energy in this area of your life. It may be surprising, it may be jarring, but it's ultimately something that blesses you with good fortune. Maybe it's a surprising new job offer, right? Or it could be a clean bill of health that you didn't expect from the doctor, right? Either way, this is an area of life where you will be experiencing expansion and abundance up until May of 2024, when Jupiter, again, your ruling planet, moves into your 7th house of partnerships, marriage, and commitment. And so once Jupiter moves into Gemini, this is the time when you may have new ideas when it comes to marriage and commitment, right? Because Gemini has a lot to do with ideas and communication. So you may find that once Jupiter moves into your 7th house, you're talking more about commitment. You're thinking more about commitment. Your ideas about commitment and marriage are changing, and changing for the better. This may be more conversations with partners, more activity in your marriage, and perhaps in your partnerships and commitments. Gemini is a very busy kind of energy, and with Jupiter moving in there, things may ramp up, activities may ramp up with your partner or concerning partnerships. Either way, these 2 areas of life, your work and your health and your partnerships and commitments, are going to get a blast of positivity with your ruling planet Jupiter moving through these 2 houses. So next up, let's talk evolution. And this has everything to do with Pluto's transit this year. So Pluto typically spends 20 to 40 years in a sign, so it's usually not moving much at all over the years. However, we're at a very important impasse or important point in time where where Pluto is making a move from Capricorn to Aquarius. This is the dawning of a new age, a new generation. Needless to say, it's a big deal. So for you, this is all going down between your second and your third house. So in January, Pluto will make its move into Aquarius. And so this is going to bring innovation and transformation to your immediate environment, to your relationship with your siblings, to any business that you transaction, your ideas, your communications. So Pluto revolutionizes things and it transforms things. Perhaps the way that you communicate with people is going to change, perhaps with some sort of advancement in technology. The way that you learn, or perhaps the way that you teach, is also going to undergo a transformation with Pluto moving into Aquarius, right? Maybe with Pluto moving into Aquarius, you and your siblings may develop something, invent something, or innovate something that may compete with all of the other technological advances that are going on right now. This is going to be a very cerebral kind of transit for you because the third house covers our ideas. And so the way that you think and the way that you communicate may be revolutionized in a very profound sort of way from 2024 onward. Now, between September and November, Pluto is also going to dip back into Capricorn and wrap up any unfinished business and really cement whatever changes and transformation has occurred over the past couple of years. Now, your second house is all about money. So perhaps the way that you make money, how you think money, how you get money, your income streams have undergone a really wild transformation. There may have been endings, a job may have ended, an income stream may have dried up. This all left room for newness, right? For perhaps the way that you've structured your finances. Like I said, how you get money, how you acquire money, all of that has changed. And whatever last bits of the old that are still remaining in this sector of your life will likely be decimated or changed forever once Pluto dips back into Capricorn between September and November. But by and large, by the time November comes around and Pluto is completely out of Capricorn, the way that you make money and your personal finances will have been transformed forever. So the next theme that we're going to discuss is the theme of relation. And this has everything to do with the nodes, particularly the North Node and the South Node. So the North Node represents our destiny, where we're headed. Our South Node represents our comfort zone and sort of what we're moving away from. And so the nodes will remain in Aries and Libra respectively throughout this year. So not only are the North Node in Aries, not only is the North Node in Aries and the South Node in Libra, but this is where the eclipses are going to be happening this year, except for one, but I'll get to that in a second. So for you, when it comes to the North Node in Aries, this is going down in your fifth house of self-expression. So this is an area of life that covers your creative endeavors, how you express yourself, how you stand apart from the crowd. It also represents romance and it represents children. And so with Aries and with the North Node being in Aries and it being your fifth house, this may be an area of life where you are undergoing changes or you are being directed toward your destiny or toward. Think of the North Node as like your North Star. It's like the guiding light that you follow, right? So when it comes to your creative endeavors, when it comes to expressing yourself, you may find that you're really tapped into your desires. This is going to be an area of life that's focused or that's emphasized this year because it's going to require you to really understand what is really in your heart. What are you truly passionate about? And the universe is going to serve up all of the circumstances, the people, the situations that align with that true desire, especially when it comes to romance and dating, especially when it comes to children. Whatever you want to birth in this life that is an expression of yourself, the North Node is going to help align everything in the universe to help facilitate that particular desire or those particular desires. Conversely, with the South Node being in Libra, this is going down in your 11th house of friendship and goals. Let me just make sure that's correct. Yes. And so the South Node is cleaning house when it comes to our relationships. Any relationships that are inequitable, that aren't fair, that are one-sided, are sort of being either revamped or are sort of just, ending, for lack of a better phrase. And with this going down your 11th house of friendship, It's really going to have you examining your friendships this year. Who stays, who goes, what kind of relationships do you have with your friends? Is it one-sided? Are you always, running to their aid when they need you, but whenever you're down and out, they're nowhere to be found? Or vice versa? The great equalizer, right, is going through well, it's not the great equalizer, but I feel like there's this great equalizer energy that's going on in your 11th house that's really getting you to examine your friendships and to see if they are fair and equitable in your life. Now, like I said before, the eclipses are going down in Aries and Libra, with the exception of one this year. So in September, there's going to be a lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces. And for you, this is going down in your 4th house of home and family. This is going to be a sneak peek as to what it's going to be like when the nodes shift from Aries and Libra and go into Pisces and Virgo. And we're getting that first taste of that this September with a lunar eclipse in Pisces. So at that time, things related to home, family, or domestic affairs are going to become illuminated. They're going to show you where you are being of service. Who are you being of service to? And what is the intention behind that service? Like I said, it's kind of just a little sneak peek. However, it's going to show you what the next cycle of the lunar nodal axis is going to look like for you. And again, that's going down your 4th house of home and family. The next topic that we will discuss is the topic of conservation. And this has everything to do with Mars going retrograde. So Mars does not go retrograde every year. It goes retrograde about every 2 years. And so in 2024, Mars will go retrograde in December up until January of 2025. So for you, well, for everybody, when Mars goes retrograde, it's a time to rest. It's a time to conserve your energy. It shows us where we've been spending our energy and perhaps where we want to dial things back or put a little less effort into certain things if necessary. It's also a time to rest and recharge your physical batteries, all right? So for you, Sag, Mars will be going retrograde in Leo and Cancer. And so for you, Leo is your 9th house of expansion. It's the house of adventure. It's the house of broadening your horizons and expanding your mind. It's also the house of long distance travel. So at the end of 2024, this may be a time where you rest. Maybe you're not doing so much traveling. And as a Sagittarius, I'm not sure that you guys love to travel. I know that you guys love to travel, and I'm pretty sure that you travel frequently. But by the end of next year, this may be a time to hunker down and stay home. This may be a time to conserve your money. This may be a time to just stay local, perhaps, right? And also, it may be a time where you're not going to want to start anything radically new. It may not be the time to start school. It may not be the time to start a legal proceeding. It may be a time to just chill, right? And sort of focus and reflect on what you've learned. What experiences have you had throughout the year that contribute to your overall wisdom, okay? Then Mars, so it starts retrograde in Leo, and then it's going to retrograde back into Cancer in January of 2025. And for you, this is your 8th house, right? Yes, your 8th house of intimacy and shared resources. So with Mars being retrograde, this isn't going to be the time to start looking for new money, trying to take out new loans, trying to borrow other people's money or obtain other people's money. This is going to be a time where you reflect on your shared resources situation and not start anything new. Your 8th house also covers intimacy. So this may not be the best time to take a relationship to the next level. This may be a time to sort of dial back on the sex a little bit. Like I said, when Mars goes retrograde, we conserve our energy. So these are the 2 areas of life, right? Your 9th house of expansion and long distance travel, and your 8th house of intimacy and shared resources. This is where you're going to want to conserve your energy, perhaps not start anything new, and just reflect on what you already have. So let's talk about a topic that everyone always wants to know about: money. So in order to ascertain our financial situations, there's 2 houses we need to look at. The 2nd house, which is your personal finances, and your 8th house, which is your shared finances and debt. So for you, Sag, your 2nd house of personal finances is Capricorn. Now there's 2 important things to know about this house and the astrological movements in 2024. So first of all, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So Saturn is currently in Pisces this year. Now what that means, long and short of it, is that Pisces is the big dream, Capricorn is the work, Saturn is the work to achieve that dream. So if you're trying to change your financial situation, maybe you're trying to make more money, maybe you're trying to have additional streams of income, maybe you're trying to increase your value, increase your worth, you're going to want to do two things. Number one, you're going to want to have a vision, have a dream, and be able to hold on to that dream. And number two, you're going to want to put in the work to facilitate that dream, put in the actual action steps while being a little bit realistic about it. If you're willing to put in the work, then you can make that dream come to fruition. So if you're looking to change your personal finances, 2024 is definitely going to be the year to do that. Okay. Next up, we also have Pluto dipping back into Capricorn between September and November. So whatever hasn't been working for you in terms of money, whether it's a job, whether it's an income stream, right? If it's still around after Pluto has made this dramatic transit through Capricorn over the last couple of years, you might find that it finally ends. Pluto is going to be wrapping up old business, unfinished business, and tearing down the last bits of things that will no longer serve you going into the future. So if you find that between September and November, something ends, there's a dramatic ending, a finale, income stream dries up, let it go, because it's ultimately making room for new and better things to come. Then we also have to talk about your 8th house of shared resources and debt. And for you, your 8th house is Cancer. So Cancer is ruled by the moon. And so you are going to want to pay particular attention to not only the lunar cycle, but also the eclipses. The eclipses are going to have a direct impact on your shared resources and your debt. These are the times of the year when certain happenings are going to happen as it relates to shared resources and debt. So for you, you're going to want to pay close attention to this year's eclipses, all right? Next up, let's talk about another popular topic, which is love. So to ascertain your love life, we're also going to look at two houses. We're going to look at the 5th house of romance and dating and the 7th house of commitment and marriages, all right? So for you, Sag, your 5th house is Aries. So when it comes to romance and dating, you guys are direct, aggressive. You know what you want, and that is it, right? So the ruling planet of your 5th house is Mars. And like I mentioned before, Mars will be going retrograde at the end of 2024. And so at that time, that's going to directly impact your 5th house of romance and dating. So that will be the time when you don't necessarily want to start a new romantic relationship. Maybe you want to slow down on the dating at that time. It's also going to be a time where you start reflecting on your romantic and your dating life. Mars is all about energy, physical force, and effort. And so throughout the year, perhaps, especially if you're single, you've been putting energy into dating. You've been putting energy into romance and finding your person, right? The end of the year, you're going to want to reflect on what energy is coming back to you. What has your dating life been like? At that point, you're going to kind of slow down and sort of let nature take its course in this area of your life. Then next up, we're going to look at your committed partnerships, and this is your 7th house. And so this is going to be Gemini. Now, this is the area of life that you're going to find a lot of abundance and good luck, because come May, Jupiter will be moving into your 7th house. So at that time, if you're looking to get into a committed relationship, the odds or the probability of that may be higher, right? And it may be a very positive situation that you find when it comes to wanting to get married or wanting to be in a more serious committed relationship. The option to have all of that may also present itself in a very positive sort of way when Jupiter goes into Gemini. Now, if you're already married or partnered up, you may find that you enjoy more positivity. You enjoy more activity in your partnership or in your marriage. It's sort of like the universe sort of blessing your marriage and your partnership. So you never know what could come of that. If you have a lot of positive energy in this area of your life, you and your partner may do something amazing together. Maybe you may take things to the next level. Sky's the limit when it comes to that. But just know that come May, when Jupiter moves into Gemini, it will bless your marriage and your partnerships. And last but not least, let's talk about career and work. So to ascertain your work life, we're also going to look at two different houses. The 6th house, which covers work and health, like your regular job, your everyday routine, the job that you go to every day, your 9 to 5. And then your career, as represented by your 10th house. It's your house of career, vocation, your status in life, all of that good stuff, right? So for you, Sag, your 6th house is Taurus. This is important because Jupiter is going to be in Taurus up until May of this year. Plus, there's going to be an important conjunction between Jupiter and Uranus in your 6th house of work and health this year in April. So when it comes to this is where you're getting a blast of positivity. Perhaps you've gotten a new job since Jupiter transited into your 6th house, or maybe new opportunities when it comes to work, when it comes to advancement at work, have presented themselves or will present themselves as Jupiter remains in Taurus until May of 2024. Now that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction is going to bestow some sort of positivity that may be surprising or that may come out of left field. Maybe you do get a promotion. Maybe you're offered a new job that maybe you didn't even apply for, right? Whatever it is, you're going to experience a blast of positivity in your work sector. Next up, let's talk about career. This is your 10th house, and for you, Sag, your 10th house is Virgo. So Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is not doing anything spectacular this year, nothing out of the ordinary than it usually does. However, you're going to want to pay particular attention to the retrogrades. Whenever Mercury goes retrograde, this is going to have a direct impact on your career, vocation, and your public life. Now in 2024, Mercury is going to go retrograde in all of the fire signs. This is important because fire is all about creation, right? And so when Mercury is retrograde, this is when you may not want to start something new in your career sector or try to rock the boat too much. It's going to be a time of rest and reflection. But by and large, when it comes to your career, the best way to use the energy, or what you can expect in 2024, is to watch the Mercury retrogrades, as they will have a direct impact on your career. All right, Sag, so that concludes your edition of the 2024 yearly astro forecast. If you want to know more about what 2024 has in store for you particularly, consider scheduling my 2024 annual reading, where I read your natal chart for filth, right? I basically outline all of the important transits that you'll need to know and prepare for 2024. I give you a written report, a 60-minute online consultation, plus I pull cards from Spirit so you get some intuitive messages. It's a whole vibe. You definitely want to consider scheduling and signing up. Slots are limited. I will link it in the description box below and also tag it to this video. But in any event, I sincerely hope that you were able to get at least one important piece of information that you can use going into this new year. For 2024, I wish you absolutely the best that life has to offer. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have an amazing year, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.